Hello, my name is Jenna Bosiger, and you're watching Cryptid's YouTube channel. On this episode, I'm going to talk about the legendary Naga, a member of a race of spirits recognized in Hinduism and Buddhism that have mingled superhuman and serpent qualities. Genii of waters and rain, and live in a subaqueous kingdom. And subaqueous means underwater, and it might even mean underground underwater cave system of some kind. Now there's also a place called Nagaland, and it's in the remote jungles near Tibet, Burma, India, and it is in the same area where the legend of the Naga serpent race exists. And the word Naga, don't know the exact origin, but it goes all the way back to the Sanskrit. And, you know, they mention genie, and that could be in reference to jinn. And jinn in the Korean and Muslim tradition is described as a spirit often capable of assuming human or animal form and exercising supernatural influence over people. Serpents are spoken about all over the world, and I don't know if they're all talking about the same species, because the flying serpent or the feathered serpent might be different than the reptilians. Not sure. And I think it's interesting to note that Quetzalcoatl or Kukulkan, you know, from Central America, and also from Teotihuacan in Mexico and the Mayan, that flying feathered serpent, it wasn't until very recently that we made the discovery that dinosaurs, most of them had feathers. Whether or not they were able to fly with these feathers, now the gravity might have been different, so maybe heavier, bigger animals were able to fly. But yeah, we found out that Tyrannosaurus rex had feathers, and that birds, they're descendants of dinosaurs. So birds, you know, reptiles, serpents, these are all very ancient creatures on Earth. And, you know, as far as T-Rex goes, I think the big question now is, were the feathers yellow? Because Big Bird might have been a real representation if you just add fangs to what T-Rex really looked like. But also, let's look at the other serpent importance of these serpent species all over the world. Half serpent, half superhuman. And it fits, this Naga description fits, you know, the reptilian description that we know of today. And I just thought it was interesting too that, you know, I got this picture. I was looking at Nagaland just to see where it was. And right across this river here, this image of a snake seems pretty clear. It doesn't seem like it's hard to see it. It's in Nagaland, or right next to it. So I also thought it was interesting that in this Nagaland area, there is really nothing at all except for a bunch of Baptist churches. You know, like there's not even anything in between the Baptist churches, but there's a lot of Baptist churches. The dinosaurs first appeared on Earth. These are what they say. So it's give or take, and, you know, it's according to what they say in science. Dinosaurs first appeared around 240 million years ago, and then it says they lived on Earth approximately 165 million years. Okay, and then they died around 60 million years ago. And so what they say about humans is that humans have been around for 4 million years, and really it was just 200,000 years ago that our type of humans that we are today really kind of came to the forefront. Whereas other species are much more native to the earth than we are. they've been evolving for a lot longer. All right, so looking around the world, there are so many mentions of feathered serpents. And like I said, how interesting is it that the Mayans and a lot of these other ancient races knew about dinosaurs having feathers way before we did. So, that gives them some credibility about what they were seeing. And in North America, the Birdman and the importance of that creature and repetition of it, that's coming from the mound builders, one of the ancient races or species of North America. And then you have Quetzalcoatl, Culican, from Central America and Mexico. And then in Egypt, you have a feathered serpent, but it does look a little bit different. Do the feathers, are they just to symbolize that it had the ability to fly? And then in Egypt, these ancient depictions of a serpent creature, sometimes with the head of a snake, and other times with the head of a human. And another important reptilian creature in Egyptian, represented in ancient Egypt, was Shobek, and he had a reptilian head. But feathered serpents are mentioned all over the world in all of the oldest of cultures. And then, why do these really ancient figurines of reptiles, why are they nursing babies? This bird reptilian creature that's been depicted in Sumeria, and which is in Iraq, and this other one, almost identical, the same creature, the same bag, depicted in art found in Ecuador. What's going on? This one, I don't think it's super old, but it's in Peru, and it's not a kind of statue you see every day. Lots of snakes and lots of flying serpents. And then in Angkor Wat, lots and lots of snakes and serpents and serpent creatures all over India, and even these in a temple in Japan. These reptilians in Japan. Japan also talks about the kappa, has these ancient depictions and representations of this creature. Some of it, sometimes it's semi-aquatic also. And these dragons look, flying serpents look just like Quetzalcoatl all the way over in Central America, and here they are in China, the dragon looking just like a feathered serpent. Okay, and how can I do a video about serpent creatures and just not talk about Satan and the whole creation story of Adam and Eve in the Bible, in Genesis, in the very, 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 very beginning, at the start of humans as we know them. As explained, so I, for the first time, approached the Bible like I've been doing all the research for this video and looking for evidence of the existence of an ancient reptilian species interacting with humans. And so, with that in mind, that is how I came at it. And it did change my, it made me see things a little differently than I did before. There's this one verse that I found, Job 6. So it says, "The Lord said to Satan, 'Very well then, he is in your hands.'" And so, why would you tell a snake that something is in their hands. Why would you tell anything other than something with hands that it's in your hands? So that says Satan had hands. Eve was deceived by this serpent creature, Satan, who deceived her by talking her into taking a bite of the forbidden fruit, which she did. Now, what the fruit is exactly, they mention different things like maybe an apple, tomato, this and that, but nowhere does it say anything about it ever being poisonous. They mention fruit that we eat every day, you know, and that is like all regular. The lesson in it is a little bit confusing because it's not like very relatable, because we don't have anybody trying to tempt us to eat fruit, like, and take a bite of a piece of fruit. Nobody's doing that to us, so it's not relatable at all. Unless, I mean, let's think about this. In our culture, there is a very well-known fruit that symbolizes taking a girl or a woman's virginity. Okay? So, it's very possible that forbidden fruit symbolizes having sex with someone you shouldn't. And being deceived more likely means being seduced. And why would you be ashamed of being naked after you took a bite of fruit, forbidden fruit? Wouldn't you be ashamed to be naked if you took a bite, if you were seduced by a bad, guy that had sex with you, and you shouldn't have had sex with them? And then there's like mention of some serpent seed. I'm really not sure about that. I can't really say much about that. I don't know. Thank you so much for watching this episode about probably the number one and also most legitimate cryptid on the planet, which would be reptilians, because of their ancient ancestry to dinosaurs. So again, thank you for watching, and I look forward to exploring new topics and new cryptids. And so if you want to hear more about all that, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.